Like, we'll take it from here, fellas. You know what I mean? And I turn around, I'll be like, hey, man, turn that TV off.
But you knew.
I knew I wasn't coming. Yeah, you won't be back today. You know what I mean? And
so basically, the sheriffs came in and arrested you, and then turned you over to the custody
yeah,
of the FBI.
the FBI was there. There just wasn't a whole FBI team. Sheriff did the do work, gaffed me up, blah, blah, blah. Then they hand me over to the FBI. FBI put me in the car, drove me down to the Wilshire building and shit. So at this time, I don't know what the hell I'm in jail for. I know I was a federal dude, but I didn't know what kind of case I was. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I was big, Alex, at the time, before it's drugs and shit like that. So I figured, I didn't have no idea where it came from at this moment. None. You know what I mean? Never what I thought it was from Compton, though.
Okay, so they take you down to the federal building on Wilshire, and what do you start to learn once you get down there?
I still was fuzzy. When I get down to the Wilshire building, I see the homie Lip Dog, I see Drew, I see Dollar Bill from Hunters, I see the homie Irby from Mob, and in my mind, I'm saying, I ain't never committed a crime with none of these dudes, ever. You know what I mean? It's all Bompton. A Dollar from the Hunters, but he lived in Bompton. You know what I mean? But so I'm like, I ain't never committed a crime with none of these dudes. When I see Lip, I'm thinking it's some death row shit. When I see the rest of the dudes, I'm like, this ain't no death row shit. You know what I mean? And so I'm still fuzzy. And the feds take you to court the same day. The same day they take you to court. So we ramp up, go to court. When I get my indictment, they hand me my indictment. I had a great lawyer throughout my trials and tribulations in Bompton, and we beat a couple motherfuckers. We beat Linwood sheriffs, we beat Compton sheriffs, we beat Thorns, and State of California versus Frank Thornton. State of California versus Frank Thornton. I was used to that. It was something about it, Alex. This courtroom seemed big, it seemed quiet, it seemed different, like, prestige to it and shit, like.
And the indictment is reading the United States of America versus Frank Thornton.
Man, I done fucked the AK. Look, what'd you say, AKA? On the indictment,
yeah.
FG.
Yeah.
When you got FG on your indictment, you fucked up. You know what I mean? They didn't just say Frank, and then you done fucked with the United States, the whole United States of America, man. You know what I mean? And it's funny now, you know what I mean? But when I was feeling, at the time I was feeling, it wasn't funny then. I was more or less like, I fucked up. The United States of America. So I'm reading the indictment, and like, bam, 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 and Drew, because when they told us to stand up, they said, Thornton and Owens, please stand. They hand us our indictment, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at the shit, I'm still fuzzy. And Drew looked at me. He said, blood, this Mob James. I'm like, Mob James? He like, blood, this Mob James, homie. You know what I mean? And I get to going through it and checking it out, and then they read us our shit, of course, they, send us to another court date. They read off our indictment, what we charged for, what the situation was on June 13, 2000. You committed a motherfucking conspiracy, distribute crack cocaine. And hold on, crack cocaine, but that's what the indictment read. So we get back to the cells and shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, Drew, what's up? He like, blood, it's Mob James, homie. You know what I mean? I don't trip. My wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, but the U.S. Probation Department, when they interview you before you go to court, I give them my girl number and shit at the time. They called her, you know what I mean, and say, listen, he going to court today at 2 p.m. Shit, my wife leave work, and like I said, she wasn't my wife at the time, but she leave work and come up to the federal court. She heard the state and shit. Mind you, my wife she ain't been in no courtrooms. She got two twin brothers. They ain't never committed a crime a day in their life that they had to be answered for. You know what I mean? They was, she ain't never had no dude who involved in the shit that I was involved in. So when they hit her, she manned up. She motherfucking came down to the federal court building. When I got to court at 2 p.m., she was in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Now, damn, where'd she come from? You know what I mean? So she already know the protocol. Call Frank DiGiacomo. Call my lawyer that I've been having all these years calling me. He, this federal, but call him. You know what I mean? So 2 days later, without even me asking, Frank came to visit me. You know what I mean? He came to visit me on some more legal shit because I was a single man, homeowner. I had shit everywhere. I had to tie up loose ends and shit to, you know what I mean, get shit cracking. And he said, well, listen, man, you know, your wife, what he told me my wife said was, listen, telling ain't an option. You know what I mean? She said, Frank, go down there, go holler at him. Let me tell you, telling ain't an option. So cooperating, it ain't an option. My wife told him this. You know what I mean? You know, she knew the protocol. So when he come down there and told me, first thing he say is, you know who the rat is? Because we had Frank was like family by this time. We had been through the rigmarole. You know what I mean? And Frank said, you know who the rat is? I said, yeah, James McDonald. He said, you got that right. I said, AKA Mob James. He said, oh, no doubt. You know what I mean? I said, listen, Frank, go give me the best deal you can get me. Because I done read the shit. Drew done already told me this Mob James. We ain't going to get past this. Now, I'm a gangster. But Drew wasn't on a federal level. You know what I mean? Drew ain't even been to the state pen at this time. So Drew it's fuzzy to Drew. It's fuzzy to him. You know what I mean? You know, I know the feds got us. We gonna take 5 for jaywalking. We gonna take 10 for motherfucking narcotics. You know what I mean? Drew didn't understand this. I said, Drew, check this out, blood. They come with 10, we taking it, homie. Drew like, what? Drew like, hold on, who? You know what I mean? Nigga, hold on. I ain't even been to the state. I ain't even did 5 yet. I ain't did 3 yet. Pa ruled Drew. I said, Drew, we gonna take, they come with 10, we gonna take it, homie. This what it is in the feds, homie. You know what I mean? You know, and Drew quickly learned how the feds work.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.